Hey, Play Fam!
Hey, Play
Oh
Fam.
my gosh, it's so bright. My eyes hurt.
It is pretty bright.
You're gonna have to do the intro. You do it.
Hey, did that help?
No. It's not.
Excuse me.
Because it's reflecting off all this snow. That's
No,
the
this
problem.
is good. Hey, Plant Fam.
I can't. My eyes are watering.
Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I'm taking over. This is now David's jungle, except it's my car. I'm gonna keep her around, I guess, because she knows more than I do about this stuff.
Are you gonna do the voiceover?
We're gonna go look at plants. Do you want me to do the voiceover?
I don't know.
You guys probably would like it if I did a voiceover, but I'm not going to. You saw what happened when I unboxed. Yeah. Anyway, we're at Lowe's in Littleton.
Yeah.
Yeah, and did I just see what I thought I saw?
Yeah. That caught me off guard. I'm sorry. Okay. Anyway.
Okay, we're at we're at Lowe's in New Hampshire. Weird stuff is happening.
We're in Littleton.
We're in Littleton, New Hampshire.
I just wasn't expecting that.
No, neither was I. That was the last thing I thought I'd see. But it's okay. We're not going to talk about it anymore. We're going to go look at
plants now.
We're going to go look at plants at Lowe's.
Okay.
Okay.
You going to wiggle a little? No? Okay, fam. Voiceover Jackie coming at you. In case you missed it, we are at the Lowe's in Littleton, New Hampshire, and we are just checking out what they have. So they've got the usual suspects in here. We've got some Maranta, some Peperomia. This one's actually not looking so bad. Some ferns in here. They have this cutie little anthurium super bum hiding back here. I think these are super underrated. I personally don't have space in my personal collection for that particular anthurium, but I think it's a really great beginner anthurium if you are looking to get into them. It is more of a terrestrial anthurium. It's a little bit easier to grow than some of the velvety ones. So we also had the cutie little Hoya Kamingianas on the trellis there. These adorable wide planters that I like. These are so cute for a windowsill. They make a really great gift. And then these freaky little, I don't know, are these supposed to be like the Statue of David or something? Like, I genuinely don't know, because it's got like the little hearts in the pupils. Anyway, don't get the Philodendron brandy because you'll probably regret it. But I thought these succulents were so cute. They had some really nice colors, and I don't know about you guys, but I love a good succulent. I think they're so stinking cute. You really can't beat the colors on these. And this is a mangave apparently, and I just thought it was cool looking. So some sort of agave hybrid, I'm assuming, is what that is. But they did have some really interesting stuff in here. This Euphorbia Medusa, I think is what they call it. We used to have one. Mealybugs really enjoyed it. So we don't have it anymore. But it is really cute and really weird if you're into that, which David and I are. So this is also a Euphorbia, I'm pretty sure. And it's got more of like a crested vibe to it. And it's also very strange. So I'm not mad about seeing some new variety in the succulent section. And then over here we have some Dracaena white aspen. I think these are super pretty. They would make a great just like living room plant in my opinion. Lots of Dieffenbachia in here. We don't do these in my home, in case you are new here. These are one of the very few plants that will actually make your pet's mouth go numb if they eat it. So we just don't keep it in our home. And I thought these leaves were so stinking cute. I don't usually see them so highly variegated on this plant. If I knew what this plant was, Epipremnum lemon top. So a newer variety that's usually pretty minty, like green on green, but for whatever reason, this one was throwing like full-on elbow leaves, and I thought it was really pretty. I'm sure somebody has snapped it up since we've been here, so I apologize for this video taking a minute to go up. Life has been a little hectic. We got a kitten, in case you missed it, and I haven't really been sleeping much because she won't let me. So there is that. But all of the floor plants over here. You guys know I have to check out the bird of paradise always to see, just see one day it will be my day, my turn to find a sport variegated bird of paradise. But unfortunately today is not that day. You would know already if I had found one of those. Trust me, I would not be able to keep it to myself. So if you guys aren't following me over on Instagram, you definitely should. It's just at JACLYNNS.JUNGLE. That is where I'm going to post a lot of just my plant updates, my animals, my personal life, things like that. So cutie little begonia over here, some neon pothos, can't go wrong with those. The usual over here, some cute Syngonium Maria. Really nice dark foliage on that one. $7.98 for these larger Costa Farms assorted foliage plants. The smaller ones I think are like $5.98, and they have some cute little begonia hiding in here, but honestly nothing that we haven't seen before. I haven't really seen them come out with anything new in terms of their just like assorted foliage collection in quite some time. They're pretty consistent with what they offer. So clearance over here is looking like maybe just some overstock, which I always enjoy when they do that because the plants are totally healthy. There's lots of cacti and succulents over here that are looking totally fine. Some plants down here as well that are also just looking totally fine, like this cute aloe. There's a little philodendron Birkin. So definitely always check the clearance rack because like look at how cute some of these are, and they come in planters already. They make great gifts when you can get them for like literally $7 for a perfectly fine plant that just needs to be cleaned up and watered and is already in a decorative pot. So absolutely love the Lowe's clearance section. I think it's a total bummer that Home Depot doesn't do that, but there is a reason why they do that. This is the skeleton key pothos. You do have to let these mature in order to like actually see the shape on them. Otherwise they kind of just look like Epipremnum pinnatum. Cutie little, what is that, lemon button fern. I love those. That looks like some sort of like strawberry something syngonium, but I didn't look at the tag, so I apologize for that. But the reason why Lowe's can put their stock on clearance and Home Depot can't is because Lowe's actually owns their inventory. They buy the plants outright, as opposed to Home Depot does not actually buy the inventory. It's a third party that comes in and manages all of that stuff. So they don't actually technically own the inventory, so they cannot put it on clearance. They still will every once in a while, and they do have their own like Home Depot plants, but it's just not as common. You're not going to like see a clearance rack in Home Depot. So anyway, some really nice Maranta hanging pots up here, and then they have some cute smaller ones down here with different types of pothos. Cute little Syndapsis exotica over here. There was definitely a point in time where these were hard to find. $16.98 for this little cutie. Syndapsis do like to shingle, so I kind of don't recommend them as a trailing plant. They're not gonna like look bad right away as a trailing plant, but it's something you're gonna have to propagate often to keep it looking bushy. It can get pretty straggly just because it does want to climb and shingle by nature. So not my favorite plant in the world. I don't necessarily like hate them. I just don't actually currently grow any Syndapsis because of that reason. So some air plants in these like random little paper bags, if that's what you're into. I don't know, I just find it kind of odd. I know that they don't need soil, but like they're just in there, like I don't know. So yeah, anyway, $24.98 for these super cute little ferns. Some snake plants in here, nothing out of the ordinary. Little self-watering pots from Live Trends. Not that you need to put a ficus in a self-watering pot like ever. That's just like not really a thing, but I do love a good ficus teneke. She's super cute. When they're small, they are pretty thirsty, honestly, so I guess it's not the worst thing in the world. But all of my ficus dropped all their leaves shortly after moving here, and they kind of never recovered, so I'm really sad about it because some of them I had for years. And I don't want to replace them, honestly, because now I'm afraid that when I move again in a couple years, it's just going to happen again. So I think I might wait until we're in like a home that we know we're going to be in for a long time, and then just like invest in a nice, big, beautiful ficus. So strawberry begonia over here, even though it's actually not technically a begonia at all. Yeah, so there's that, but it is really cute. And here's my cat. Hi, Bubba. Can I help you? He's kind of freaking out because we let the kitten out to roam around, and he's a little bit unsure and a little bit, he's kind of looking at me like, really, Mom? Again? Like, why are you doing this? You guys are going to be besties in no time, I promise. So anyway, Hoya, Carnosa Crimson Princess there, and then whatever this is, some sort of, I forget the name of it, and it just says houseplant, so that's not helpful at all, but it's a weird little bushy thing, and I think it's pretty cute. So some more of the usual stuff here, more Dieffenbachia, lots more pothos. This philodendron Moonlight is absolutely stunning. This thing is huge and it's gorgeous. I'm a sucker for like a neon aurea type of color, like that more chartreuse green to the leaves. I just find it to be really visually appealing when it's mixed in with your like darker green plants. Another Anthurium Super Bum over here, super cute, Super Bum. And these pots look like they're new as well, the black and white ones. They always come out with new stuff, and I'm definitely not mad about the variety that we have with live trends. The Urban Jungle line is definitely more like a little boho, and then their live trends regular line is a little bit more like modern, so it's pretty cute and I'm not mad. So we're at the Home Depot now in Littleton, New Hampshire, and they have these giant alocasia longaloba, and I just think they're so pretty. I struggle with alocasia like quite a bit, and I'm not really sure why, because I have like 500 anthurium that I managed to keep alive and thriving, but for whatever reason alocasia, they're just, they just don't like me. So unless I keep them in self-watering pots, they kick the bucket fairly quickly in my care, and it's pretty sad because I think they're really pretty. So we're just gonna keep them in self-watering. I also have a Maranta in self-watering and a Calathea because I will also kill those. So David's showing us this Stingray alocasia because even he knows that this is a crazy find to find like massive in Home Depot for $30, because they used to be really expensive and really hard to find. We used to have a little baby that we both really enjoyed, but again, it's an alocasia. The only one that I do have that's easy is this one, actually, the cuculata. This is the only one that I can just, I still have it in this same pot from Proven Winners. And it lives in my kitchen and it does so well for me. It's really hardy if you're looking for an alocasia that's gonna be a little bit easier. So Hoya Ranksan over here, really cute splashy Hoya. I'm really surprised that these are still here. They're really stinking cute. And if you guys are in the area, you should definitely go and buy them. I know we're pretty far north. We're about an hour north out from where we actually live in New Hampshire, but we do come up this way fairly often. So I do like to check out what they have in stock for you guys every once in a while, because you never know what you might find, like these cutie philodendron. They look like Dark Lord or something like that. And then they have these Hoya Rosita, I think, if they're calling them adrift. I'm not sure why. It drives me crazy when they change the plant names because it's confusing. So many of you messaged me like, what is this Hoya actually? And I'm happy to help give you guys the actual names of them, because I don't know why Proven Winners feels the need to rename them. words are hard. But these orchids are really beautiful. I'm definitely not mad at those, except for that I also can't seem to keep those happy. Apparently they want like more water than what people will tell you. So I've just been like chronically underwatering my orchids, but I am like so determined, so insanely determined to keep them alive one day because I think they're really pretty. So some cute little calathea hiding in here, some Dieffenbachia. This one's actually really cute. I'm not mad about that one at all. I think it's like reflector. I don't know, you guys. I don't know anything about Dieffenbachia besides that I can't have them in my home. So they also had this Hoya lacanosa royal flush looking pretty sad and not very silvery. They're supposed to be like a silvery, splashy little leaf. And honestly, the blooms on them are so stinking cute too. If you're looking for an easy bloomer, Hoya lacanosa, any type of lacanosa is going to be a really good option for you. They bloom really, really easily and often as well. So what else? We've got some lipstick plants hiding in here, some goldfish plants. I see some rabbitfoot ferns, different pothos, some heartleaf philodendron, and this Hoya lacanosa actually doesn't look half bad, and it does have some pretty decent color on it. So they are only $20.98. And I was definitely debating on whether or not I should rescue one. The rest of them are looking pretty sad, so I was contemplating maybe just taking home the healthiest one and attempting to rescue it. So stay tuned for that. This is the Hoya species Affinis Bertoniae. Super duper cute. Don't sleep on that one either. Also an easy bloomer and really easy to grow, even easier than the lacanosa. You can neglect the heck out of the Bertoniae and it's still gonna be fine. If you neglect lacanosa, she might not make it. It is a little bit more of like a finicky species in my opinion, but you don't know until you try. So Monstera standeliana, some cute Calathea dotty. I love the dark purple leaves on that one. And then I think this is just like Baltic blue, Epipremnum panatum. And, you know, the usual stuff here from Costa Farms. They haven't really come out with anything too new and exciting that I know about, aside from like the rare cacti and euphorbia and stuff that they've been releasing to Walmart. But my Walmart don't have anything. So, but you guys will see that when I do my next plant shopping video in the next couple of days here that I have for you guys. But some cutie little Aglaonema over here. I feel like people really sleep on these. They're only $15.98. They're super easy to grow. I love this one in particular. I have this one. I love the color of the leaves. That like muted kind of silvery green is just really pretty. The one in front of it is called Maria, I'm pretty sure. And it was actually one of my first foliage plants. And I don't know. I just think they're really cute. My mom still has one of my old Aglaonema from back in the day. So, and she really enjoys it. But more orchids over here. I love these cute little peach colored ones. I think they're so cute. Can't say the same for those creepy ass bromeliads. Some regular grocery store anthurium that are called Andianum, I learned, in case you were wondering, but I do like just calling them grocery store anthurium because y'all know what I'm talking about. And then we've got just more of the assorted foliage here, some croton. These are not ones that you usually come by. This is the Frankie Fittonia, so you could see the leaves are just a little bit more pink and a little bit more ruffled, and they're super cute. They're very thirsty, but if you have like a terrarium of sorts, those are a really cute one, and you don't always find the Frankie, so that's not a bad find. Also, this is not a bad find. Cutie little Mandula pothos, also one that you just don't come by quite as often. So some purple passion hiding down here. This looks like Easter cactus. And yeah, I mean, I feel like that's kind of it for everything that's going on in here. Nothing really out of the ordinary. I love the purple passion. I think it's really pretty, but I've never actually tried to grow it, so I can't really speak on it. More cutie Manjula over here. Never mad about those. Sometimes you get lucky and you find big hanging baskets. And then over here we had some floor plants. Some of these cute, like velvety calathea. I look at these and I just think like that they're a spider mite magnet. Like, I don't know why, but that's just what my brain does. But they're only $21.98, so really cute if you're looking for something for your living room, I guess, if you don't have pets or children. If you're one of those people that can just put plants on the floor in your home. I'm jealous. So there's that. But we have these cute prickly dudes that I can put on the floor because my cat has learned that if you go near it, you get stabbed. So he won't try to eat them. There's some really cool variegated agave in here, these huge barrel cactus, lots and lots of aggressive looking stuff. David really likes how sharp and pointy and aggressive some of these look, so we'll probably end up with agave at some point in time when we have the space for it. It's just we have enough plants in here for an apartment currently, but these epiphyllum look pretty sad, which is pretty sad, including these. I'm not even gonna, with the spray painted cacti, you guys, I can't. It's so bad. It's so bad, but definitely don't sleep on the cacti and the succulents. Sift through. You never know what you're gonna find. Every once in a while I find something really strange and really cool in here. And that's it for Home Depot. Okay, fam, so that was the Home Depot in Littleton, New Hampshire, and I really was convinced that they weren't going to have anything because the Lowe's was kind of like just meh.
It's pretty sparse. Like the plants were fine at Lowe's, but there wasn't like a good variety.
Yeah, sorry, you're like not even in the frame.
It's fine. Ignore me. It's my video, but that's fine.
Whatever. So I wasn't mad though. They did have some pretty decent Hoya. They had some rank sand from Proven Winners and all those really sad Lacanosa. But we did get one.
Nice too. The Stingray was nice.
The Stingrays are nice. Yeah, they had those giant alocasia. So like I was actually pleasantly surprised by Home Depot. I think because my expectations were like on the floor that it wasn't that bad. So I did get the Lacanosa Royal Flush. Ooh. I will show it to you guys later. It's all wrapped up in a bag, but that's it for for this part. So.
Don't forget to drink your water, be nice to people. Happy Valentine's Day. If you've watched this whole video, leave a heart.
It is Valentine's Day today, technically. Yeah. I don't know when you're gonna see this though.
Yeah,
but I'm looking forward to no, you're fine. I'm looking forward to who cares? I'm looking forward to rescuing this Hoya, so stay tuned for that. Hopefully we can keep her alive. So okay, fam, so it's been a little while since I've seen you, and I wanted to add on to this video because I thought it would be fun. I used to do this when I first started my channel, where I would go to the store and rescue a plant and come home and do the rescuing process with you all in one video. So let me know if you like this format and we can definitely do it again. So it's been maybe like a week, a little more than that, since I saw you guys, but we're here. We got a new cat, so things have just kind of been a little bit hectic. If you're not following me over on Instagram, or if you haven't followed my community tab here on YouTube, then you haven't seen her. So definitely go and follow me over on Instagram if you're interested in seeing more of my animals, more of my plants, and just like more personal stuff over there as well. So David bought me this Hoya Lacanosa Royal Flush, and she's pretty sad. Like even just, she's raining leaves every time I move her. She's been shedding. I've had her isolated. I sprayed her down very thoroughly with isopropyl alcohol, and I know that not everything in here is going to be salvageable, so we're just going to go through and only keep the pieces of this plant that are looking healthy, and then I'm going to put them into one of these probably smaller pots, because I'm going to say it's probably safe to say that there's not a ton of roots in here. Hoya have very fine roots, So this big pot is probably not necessary. So I'm gonna tilt you guys down and I'm gonna raise the table up a little bit. I just need to get my repotting mat. One of my many mats by Kat. I have a ton of these. This one is pretty old, but it's the one that I have here. I also get like my trellises and stuff from her. So that is always in my description box with a discount code if you guys are interested in checking that out. So let's get you adjusted here. All right, I think that's good. So here we are, Hoya Royal Flush. Let's get in here and just see what we're working with. I've had this plant a few times in the past, and not gonna lie, I have struggled with it, but I'm pretty determined to keep this one happy and healthy. The reason why I've struggled with these in the past is just because they are a pretty thinner leaf variety, and that just makes them a little bit more thirsty. So I'm going to just very gently try and pull this whole thing out of here. This should come out all in one piece. Yeah, she doesn't really have a lot of roots. This is a lot of soil for not a lot of roots. So, you know, normally I wouldn't recommend doing this with a trailing plant. I would recommend like wrapping up all the vines with something and then transferring it over as one big ball. But I'm really wanting to like get in here strand by strand, which is like very tedious. But I knew what I was signing up for when I got this. So I am just literally going to go through piece by piece and only keep the healthy ones. So what I do is kind of just like find somewhere to hang them temporarily, and then we're gonna figure it out from there. So we're only keeping the healthy parts of the plant. Again, being really delicate with these roots because they're super duper small, and we want to be able to salvage as much as we can. Roots are really important for Hoya. So I'm gonna separate them out by like how long their vines are. Where are my scissors? And I am just going to be trimming off anything that is dead, anything that's not looking good. I just kind of want to get in here and see what we're working with. We have a lot of leaf loss. These plants were probably overwatered at some point in time, and then maybe even potentially underwatered. I got this at Home Depot. Obviously, you guys just saw that, but for me, it was like a week ago. So some nice vines here. Just want to get rid of these yellow leaves. They're not going to serve the plant any good. Just getting rid of anything that's kind of ugly. This is just going to help like cosmetically as well. When you're rehabbing a plant that doesn't look great, it's going to look a lot better once we prune off all of the yellowing leaves and so on. Checking for pests as I go as well. I haven't seen anything concerning yet. And again, I'm just separating them out by like really, really small pieces, kind of like medium length pieces, and then all of the really long pieces. It's honestly not that bad. It looks a lot worse than it is when it's in that big hanging basket with all the yellowing leaves. But again, like I said, once you prune those back and get it all nice and cleaned up, it's gonna look so much better without really having to do much else. And honestly, this is not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. So I think this is gonna make a really cute hanging basket. It's gonna give new life to this plant. Unfortunately, there were some in there that didn't look very salvageable. I tried to take the healthiest one that they had, and literally the only reason why I bought this is because it still has a shot and I didn't want it to die. So we're trying to rescue this babe from going in the trash. Right, I'm actually gonna move these because they're starting to fall. I'm making a mess. But again, I have my pile of longer strands here, and I'm just trying to keep them all organized in a way where, like, you know, it's gonna be easy to repot them. And just some smaller stuff on the side here. I might make a couple of little baby pots. This one's looking pretty bad, but it is still healthy, so I am just gonna like cut it a little bit just to get it looking a little better. And maybe that will encourage some new growth. This will also give us a chance to just kind of like redo the plant and get the vines just like trailing in a better way, all oriented in the way that we want them. Because again, I don't normally recommend doing this. It is much more tedious. But sometimes it is necessary. And this one had really nice variegation, so I couldn't just let it sit there and die. The blooms on this are super cute. They're really classic Lacanosa blooms. They're really tiny and pink with a, I'm pretty sure yellow, not pink. They're really tiny and white and kind of fuzzy with a yellow corona, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while since I've had a Lacanosa bloom. I did just recently get, I can't really see it on this angle, a variegated Lacanosa, and we repotted her in that last Hoya repot video. I'm glad that you guys enjoyed that. I do plan on doing maybe some live streams in the future. I was also thinking about maybe doing more of like a podcast setup, maybe like once a week or once a month or something, where I can invite somebody else onto the channel and we can just like live chat about stuff. I think that would be really fun. Let me know if that's something you guys would be interested in the comments below. So I think we got everything that had roots. This is looking sad, and if you can see, I do have like a lot of just leaves and things that just kind of came off of the plant that were just no longer serving it. So what I'm left with is actually a pretty nice bundle of plant here. Okay, so you guys know my soil mix by now, hopefully, but today I'm using my usual Fox Farm Ocean Forest. I've got Mother Earth number 3 Perlite in there, and because this is a Hoya, I am going to be making it just like a little bit chunkier with bigger pieces of bark. So I have the Better Grow Orchid bark with, it's got charcoal and perlite in it as well. So it's right here. This one you can get it at Lowe's. And that's what we're working with today. I think some people were a little bit confused in my last video when I said that for the finer roots on the Hoya, I use a bigger chunk, like a bigger piece of bark. And for the thick, chunky roots of my anthurium, I use a finer bark. I'm not sure what's confusing about that, but I'm happy to explain it again. Because of these very, very fine roots, you don't want a really dense soil. You will suffocate these little baby roots. You don't want to do that. So I use a bark that is bigger. So these are just like bigger pieces of bark. So it's just going to make it a little bit more aerated than if the bark was finer. And then for anthurium, the opposite is true. They have such thick roots that if you use too big of bark, then you're just going to have nothing but air pockets and your plant's going to dry out way too quickly. So I can't speak on other plants, but that is what I do for Hoya, and that is what I do for anthurium, and those are the reasons why, and that is what is recommended for both. So you're going to want to do like a pretty decently chunky mix for your Hoya, and then for anthurium, a more fine bark and a fine mix is recommended. So it can still be chunky, it just shouldn't be as chunky, and it should be smaller pieces of chunky, if that makes sense. So hopefully that clears up any confusion that people might have had, because I did get a couple of comments where people were like, wait, what? I thought it was the other way around. And maybe that's true for other genre, but I was just speaking on Hoya and anthurium. in that video. Okay, so let's see. What size pot do I want to do for this? Probably this bigger one. I would feel this is a little too small. So I'm going to use this kind of medium-sized one here. But I do love to save these hanging baskets when I repot or up pot out of them because you never know when you need them. I do like these white ones with the tray on the bottom. They're just aesthetically pleasing, and I appreciate the tray. Makes it easier to water them. Just a little bit in the bottom. And then the fun part. So we're going to start taking each one and we're going to make sure that they're at least kind of facing in the right direction here. Actually kind of maybe need more soil, but I want to do even maybe just like the longer ones underneath. And then the not as long ones on top. Just looks better that way. This nice big piece here. Definitely want that front and center. So that's really kind of it. I'm just going to continue to build my pot. Put a little bit of dirt on top of these front pieces so that we can start moving back a little bit. If that makes sense. Yeah, I'm gonna like continue to just readjust, obviously, because I want to make sure that everything is in there good. Again, this is not the way that I recommend doing this. If the plant is healthy, just scoop it up by the root ball, shake off that excess dirt, and just throw it right in the new pot the way that it is. With trailing plants like this, it is very tedious to go about it in this way. So, again, I don't like necessarily recommend it, but this is what I chose to do for this plant because I just really wanted to revamp it and give it some new life. I'm going to start working in some of these smaller pieces, and I'm just kind of laying them on top for now. I will continue to zhuzh as we go, but it doesn't have to be perfect. The plant will reorient itself properly once it gets settled, and I get it in a spot where, you know, it has a light source. All of the leaves are going to adjust themselves towards the light, but obviously I want to be a little bit mindful about where the vines are going and that they're all at least sort of facing a similar direction. I might just throw all of them in here because honestly this pot is kind of the perfect size for this plant. I am going to put a little more dirt now that we're making progress. Everything kind of laying that way, and I'm just going to put some loose soil here, and then I'm going to continue to build this pot with some of these smaller pieces back here. It's going to be a nice full pot. I think we got all our pieces in here. Now I just need to get the rest of the dirt in here and make sure that all of the vines are actually like tucked in to the dirt. It's gonna take some time for everything to get settled. I'm gonna take this to the sink when we're done and give it a nice good soak. That'll help the roots get nice and settled into the soil as well. I just want to go in here in between. It's going to be a little messy at first, but like I said, again, she'll kind of sort herself out eventually, as long as all the roots are down in the soil where they're supposed to be. So just again making sure that everything is down in here the way that it should be. Some vines might need to be pushed down, but I think we've think we got it here for the most part. Just looking for any gaps, any roots. I don't want to see any roots above the soil. So I'm just kind of gently pulling. Let me actually, I'm hurting my neck. I just gotta lower you guys a little here. I'm like trying to lean over, make sure that there's enough soil in all the little crevasses here. We might experience a little bit of leaf loss from the top. Some of these leaves might be, you know, buried a little too far in there, but that's okay. As long as they're not sitting on top of the soil like wet for extended periods of time, it should be fine. So make sure you guys subscribe if you're not already, so that I can show you an update on this plant in maybe like a month or two, and we can see how her rescue mission goes here and if it will be successful. So I want to be able to hang her this way, so I'm gonna, I didn't really think that through, huh? Kind of just like plopped her in there any which direction, not really considering where these holes were, but that's okay. Here's my new plant. Oh my gosh, she looks so much better, doesn't she? In this smaller pot. This is definitely a better pot size for her, and I think she's going to just simply oh, lost a leaf. I think she's just simply going to thrive in here. It's going to take a little while for sure. I'm definitely going to be hitting her with my Urban Gardener Super Growth Elixir. This stuff is amazing for Hoya growth. I'm also going to be hitting the roots with fish shit. My plants love this shit. It is so good for root growth. I just ordered a new bottle. This is empty. And both of those things are really going to help this plant thrive. So that's my Hoya lacanosa Royal Flush Rescue from Home Depot. Again, stay tuned. In like a month or two, I will give you guys a little update on her and some other plants in here and how they're doing as well. And I'm really glad that we decided to rescue her. Let me know in the comments below if you have this plant, if it's bloomed for you. This is a really easy bloomer, so I do anticipate her hopefully blooming for me this spring and summer. So I guess we'll find out if we did a good job rescuing her, if she rewards us with some blooms this year. So that's it for this video, fam. You should definitely give it a thumbs up. Again, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss updates and more plant chores and plant shopping and unboxings and all that good stuff with me and sometimes David too. And I love you. If you watched this whole entire video, leave me some silver heart emojis in honor of this cute little silvery babe. She will get sun stressed like a nice dark burgundy as well. So I love you guys, and I hope I see you in the next one. Bye.